Good morning, my name's Sheldon Livesay. As I study more and more, and as I listen to the national prayer networks and international prayer networks, some of our national faith leaders that we put a lot of trust in, most everybody, used to years ago, some single person would say they believe the end of the world is going to come, and they made it sound like it's going to come next Tuesday. But now the consensus of all of our leaders is that God is wrapping things up. Most of the prophecies have already have taken place. Many in our lifetime. If you're just even 50 or 60 years old, there's been a tremendous amount of prophecies that are winding up, and it's setting the stage for Jesus' soon return. What does that mean to you and me? It doesn't mean anything unless it gets personal to us, right? But what does it mean? It means that it's not an accident that you were born when you're born. Think about that. God strategically placed you here on earth from possibly one of the most strategic times in all of history. If God's wrapping it up, if He's coming in a few years in our lifetime, and that we will see with our eyes the coming of the Lord in the sky in some means or manner, if we're living at that time, then this is possibly one of the most strategic times in all of history, and God has placed you here for such a time as this. You're not an accident. You're not, but God has placed in you something also that it means that you're not supposed to be a bystander. He's placed you here for a purpose and a plan. Now, many of us have understood have understood what we call DNA. And you've seen that it's been a big deal over the last few years as it's been discovered. It's like a twisted ladder that's in every cell of our body. And your DNA determines your hair color, your skin color, your height, weight. Everything about you is made up inside your little cell, encoded in those little ladders that God put there called your DNA. But I believe, friends, that on the inside of each of us is a spiritual DNA. And I believe that we need to pray that God activate your spiritual DNA and the spiritual DNA of your family, that you will know the purpose and plan that God has for you in such a strategic time. It's not God's plan for you to sit on the stands. It's God's timing for you to be in the playing field, engaged in His work. And yes, He's put us here on earth when there's a lot of trinkets to take our attention. There's TV and all the technical stuff, video and social media, all of this stuff that we can sit for hours and hours and watch reruns and reruns of reruns of reruns, but that's not God's plan and purpose for your life. If you can spend time with God and develop an intimate relationship with Him and begin to learn to listen to His voice, He will give you direction and launch you into this purpose and plan that He has for your life. That might be short and sweet today, but that can be one of the most powerful things that God does during this day and age for you personally and the life of your family, as He's releasing to you that plan and engaging you in His work. May I pray for you as we wind that up today? Father, as we're looking at the life of anybody that watches this, I'm asking you, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, to activate the spiritual DNA of every single person that listens to this message today, every single family member that they have. Activate that spiritual DNA to show them your purpose and plan for their life, and then speak loudly to call them into the work that you have for them to do. Doesn't matter what we do to earn a living for our family. In addition to that, on the spiritual side, you have a purpose and a plan and a work for them. Call them into it, and then bless them, Father. Bless them and anoint them to be able to accomplish everything that you are calling them to do. So when we stand before you one day, You won't say, oh, but you were supposed to have accomplished this and this and this, and if you had only done this and this and that, Lord, you will say to us, well done, my good and faithful servant. God bless you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to share that with you today. You have a great day.